Okay, good evening. I'd like to introduce the TMS concert band, which is the first full year of a concert band uniting 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And we're going to kick off the festivities with the familiar tune to most of us. Thank you. The piece entitled Incantation and Ritual that we've been working on diligently for several months, and it showcased the classic concert band sound where you could hear different groups taking the lead, whether it be the woodwinds or the percussion. And now we're going to conclude this set with a very difficult piece that I remember we were playing the recording in high school band, and the high schoolers were saying, "Why can't we play that?" Which is a good thing. So it's a difficult piece entitled Pegasus, and it's very rhythmic. So keep an ear out for different sections really taking the lead and keeping everything together, and myself included, because I have to pretty much cue everyone at once. So wish me luck. This is entitled Pegasus. Thank you. Thank you very much. The TMS Concert Band, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Worked very hard at that piece. Thank you. Whether it be 6th graders right in the morning with the certain energy, or 7th graders right at the end of the day with certain energy, different energy, and 8th grade right in the middle leading the way. Very proud of their work on that. Thank you, middle school. So now we're going to move on. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to the drum line. So we're going to set up right over here. One is entitled Swagger, and the second is entitled Tap Step. Tap Step is basically our cadence when we march in the parades. So we learn to kind of march to that rhythm. We're also going to hear some soloists. And I'd like to give a shout out to our senior Keith Don Overton. Made a lot of progress on the snare drum these last few years. Great job, Keith. So this is Swagger. Thank you. And well, we'll get an encore. So speaking of which, we're setting the stage literally for the jazz ensemble, which has a lot of improvisation involved, both in the small group and the larger group. And so with these pieces, what I failed to mention is we're trying to incorporate improvisation, which is such a rhythmic and percussion idea originally, if we talk about the history. So we heard from Brian. We're going to hear from Lucas McGrave and Ali Kajoshi on the next piece. This is entitled Tap Step. Thank you. Kai Katsuno on the cymbals. And our two 8th graders, Gianni Adeo and Ephraim Marichuk. Drumline, thank you. Okay, moving right along to some more improvisation. This is the jazz small combo. Let's see where we're at here. We'll let Lucas set up the drum set here. So this is a feature of our two outstanding seniors, Mateo Hernandez-Ferro and Henry Padal, both multi-instrumentalists. Let's see. Mateo is going to Stony Brook University, and Henry is going to Duquesne University, majoring in classical voice. And these are the two gentlemen that really made life easy for me here. I met them in my entrance interview. I've already told this story, might as well tell it again. And I asked, does anybody want to improvise? And Mateo raises his hand. Does anyone else want to improvise? Henry raises his hand. And so from the very beginning, risk takers, great musicians, and it's my pleasure to introduce them in the small group setting. We are playing a piece based on the I Got Rhythm Changes, which is a jazz standard piece for many decades. And the interesting thing that they're going to do tonight is they're taking one of their Nismus solos and they're going to assimilate it into the performance. So they're going to play some of it and then they're going to make it their own and improvise with it. We're going to play rhythm changes, and then we're going to end with the Charlie Parker song entitled Dexterity, which is based also on rhythm changes, and which is kind of the core or the beginnings of bebop, where improvisation got really sophisticated, really technical, and really, really incredible. So this is the small jazz combo. Thank you. On the walking bass, and Lucas McGrave once again on the drum set now. You'll hear more from them in a moment on the jazz ensemble. So we can welcome the jazz ensemble now. Be playing Take 5, which is a challenge in how we organize the meter or the groupings of the steady beat. So that's the main challenge of this, and we're going to hear from Matteo. So we will hear from Henry Podal on trumpet once again on this piece, which was written by Paul Desmond, alto saxophonist, and made famous by Dave Brubeck and the Dave Brubeck Ensemble. Take 5. Okay, so now we're going to continue on here with a classic jazz standard ballad entitled Over the Rainbow. We're going to hear from our saxophone section, very young section, but playing individual parts and playing like a true big band, which is using the different harmonies available to really make the music come alive. So we're going to hear from Mateo once again, and Maya on flute, and also Jack on tenor saxophone. This is Over the Rainbow. to conclude the jazz ensemble portion with a very fun funk-type tune piece entitled The Chicken, made famous by Jaco Pastorius, electric bass player. Very fun piece. We have Isabella joining us on alto over there, and this is entitled The Chicken. Thank you. Ethan Sen, alto saxophone. Julia Bastani-Escu, baritone saxophone. Soloists on The Chicken. Jazz ensemble. You can hear us again at the art show next week, I think, May 22nd, 6 p.m. Okay, now we're going to introduce the concert band. Thank you, Jazz Ensemble. Give us a moment to set that up. We'll be right back. Of the band program is the core of the program anyways, and one reason, as you heard in the middle school, is it really allows participation for a lot of different instruments and a lot of different students. Particularly percussion, you'll see all types of different percussions, xylophones, snare drums, timpani on this one, which I'm excited about. For example, different winds, clarinets, flutes, and so forth. So this piece is entitled Garden of the Black Rose. I think it's a band favorite. It sounds really, really wonderful. And the leaders of this piece are second period, which is a mixture of French horn and euphonium and flute and clarinet and some trumpet, and a really kind of eclectic group, which really makes the more delicate music that you hear come to life. So listen for that. This is Garden of the Black Rose. So moving on in a similar fashion, we're going to take it way back to the Baroque period with a piece by George Frederick Handel, or derived from George Frederick Handel from one of his oratorios entitled Occasional Oratorio. This is entitled Occasional Suite, and let's see. That's basically it. Yeah, enjoy. Thank you very much. That was our classic march entitled Scholastics March, which we'll be playing next week at the Memorial Day commemoration, incidentally. And we have one final piece. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Goodman, Mr. Arthur, and the rest of the administration, Mr. Calaswano, for coming tonight, and for always supporting the music department. Mr. Duchateau and Miss Reedy for all their support, coming out to every event, and so forth. The custodial staff for all their support, and Miss Tierney and Miss Pinto in the main office. So Denbridge Way is our final piece, and it's kind of the culminating work of, let's say the year, but the semester, where you'll hear everything kind of combined in one. You'll hear certain sections and certain quiet parts in the winds, and some very percussive moments, and everything in between. So this is Denbridge Way. Thank you for coming out tonight and supporting the band program. Please enjoy. Thank you very much. THS Concert Band. Thank you very much.